morning everybody, Calm Biker here. Out on a nice Sunday morning ride. It's a bit damp, it's a bit chilly, it's a bit grey and it looks a bit like rain. But I'm on a bike and I'm with Graham today. Hello there! Graham Calvert. Adventures with Woody. Tales from Yorkshire. I'll put a link below if you've not heard of Graham. He is behind me, by the way. Over there. Riding his new bike, Ches. GSXF 750. I'll tell you what, 14-year-old bike. How old? 13. With 50,000 miles on the clock. A lot of people would hear that and run a mile. Not me, but a lot of people. Some people seem to think that bike's got 15,000 miles on it, then steer clear. But it's a lovely looking machine. 13. I tell you what, he works some magic when he cleans these things up. I mean, he's picked up a bargain, I think. He's not paid a huge amount of money for it, considering what it is. I mean, you know, bikes aren't cheap, are they? But he's not paid a huge amount for what it is. And it's a lovely thing. I just found myself doing that. Yeah. You know something looks nice when you want to touch it, don't you? All in good working order, got lots of extra bits on it. And he's put lots of extra bits on it, and he's done the Graham Calvert valet. I tell you, he should go in business. I'm pretty sure I've said that before, but he should go in business because he has a way of cleaning bikes that a week after cleaning it, it's still cleaner than after immediately after I've cleaned mine. Anyway, we thought we'd take a morning out, come back this afternoon, just head up to good old Scarborough for a cup of tea, cup of coffee, whatever. And thought, well, I might as well talk to you. That sounds really bad, that I might as well talk to you, seeing as you're here. My last video I put up, I got loads of responses to. Thank you very much for the responses and some very kind words said. And I think maybe I got the tone of the video wrong, because a lot of people read into it or viewed into it, I don't know what the phrase would be, but a lot of people thought that I was thinking of giving up vlogging, and I did mention that as a possibility, but it's kind of not number one on my list, so I'm not planning on giving up. People also said I sounded really down, and I wasn't really. If anything, I was quite happy that day because I finally got the bike out after having totally miserable weather for so long. But I was recovering from a bit of an infection, so maybe something in my voice as well made it sound like I was down, but no, I wasn't. No, I was more thinking about the direction that I wanted the channel to take, whether I wanted to carry on doing the same thing or change it up a bit. There are a lot of things that I would love to do on the channel, but I'm not skilled enough to do. But yeah, I really enjoy the vlogging, and I really enjoy the community around it. I mean, there's no way I would give that up even if I gave up vlogging. But so yeah, it wasn't that I'm giving it up particularly. It's that, as the title said, I really don't have a plan. I have no idea of the direction I want to take. But I've got a few ideas, and I've just got to work out if I'm capable or not. I thought I'd do a little update as well. Quite a few of you that watch my channel know DannyG1980. 1980. From the start of meeting Danny, and I met him years ago, I always think for some reason it's 1986. He must just be a sprightly chap. Must look younger than he is. But yeah, DannyG1980, a lot of you'll know him, and some will have known him through his channel, some will have met him through ride-outs. If you're not sure who he was on the ride-out, he was always the guy on the big Blackbird who would help us marshal the ride around. Oh, I've lost Graham. So he would always be one of the ones heading from back to front, marking the junctions and then trying to get back to the front again. one of the most valuable people on the team of ride-out specialists, if you can call us that. Clueless plonkers is more likely in my case. So a lot of you will know his channel, a lot of you know him, and I haven't mentioned it up until now because I haven't seen him since it happened, but Skeggy mentioned it the other day, so a lot of you will know he's been in a pretty serious accident. And I just thought I'd give you a little update because I said I wouldn't say anything until I'd seen him. I saw him yesterday, said the same, and he kind of shrugged, went yeah, whatever, as Danny does. And I won't give you the full details of it, but I kind of wanted to mention it and send a get well soon out to Danny. He's in a pretty bad way, but he's still with us, and his spirits are up. You know, we had a good laugh yesterday. He's reached that point in the man spectrum where it's all right to kind of rip the piss out of him a bit. You know, poke fun. If ever you're laid in a hospital bed as a man and your male friends pop around and they're not poking fun at you, you know it's serious. So yeah, you kind of expect it, don't you? So I went round, gave him a back scratcher, and I'd like to point out that's a tool. I didn't give him a back scratch. We're not that close. But just to have a chat with him yesterday and see how he's getting on. Basically, he was headed down a dual carriageway. He was in the right-hand lane of a dual carriageway. The left-hand lane was very slow or stationary because of queuing. So he was going down the right, and because he was going down the right, he wasn't doing the speed limit, which is thankful, because the speed limit on the road is 70 and he was doing about 55. And somebody in the left-hand lane got bored of queuing and just did a U-turn about 2 car lengths ahead of him. He swerved a little, but she completely blocked the road. She did it that quick, so there's nothing he could do. He swerved a little, which is probably lucky for her, because he would have hit her door and he would probably have killed her. It'd have probably cut her in half, because you know it's a 300 kilo bike. It's not like pinging off on a 125. It's like hitting a car with a wrecking ball. He hit the car hard enough that the car spun, and the car was written off. His bike was destroyed, and unfortunately he was quite seriously injured. So he spent a couple of weeks in hospital. He's got broken hip, broken thighs, broken shins, broken arm, but thankfully somehow he survived it. Mainly I think because of that swerve, because if he hit the door, he'd have probably hit the door with his body as well. But because he managed to swerve a bit, he hit near the front wheel and went over the bonnet of the car. So the you know, the injuries are from flying over and then landing and bouncing down the road 100 yards. So thank God that, you know, you're not in a worse situation than you are, Danny. Weird to say, but he said it himself yesterday. In a way, he's been blooming lucky. So get better soon, Danny. Hope to see you on your feet. I mean, to let you know, viewers, we're looking at least 6 months before the cages are off his leg. So you know, he's probably not going to be walking for 9 months to a year. So I'll have to, I said to him, I'll have to get a sidecar. I'll have to get a sidecar, get him in it, and we'll take him around a bit and have some fun. And hopefully we'll have a bit of fun once he's able to move about a bit in a chair. So again, get well soon, Danny. Thanks for watching, everyone. Ride safe, and I'll talk to you all again soon.